Welcome to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever seen a horse who could talk? With your host, Louisa Barton, who really wants to be a famous rider. She really loves to ride fast. Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care.
Truth is, I have horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Welcome to the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital in Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our TV broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with my co-host Dancing, Pete Rodda from Complementary Horsemanship. We remind you it's not free. Complementary means it's supposed to complement.
It enhances what you do with your horse.
That's right. Also in the studio with us, it is, an extreme honour to welcome Aaron Vale here. Aaron, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's awesome. I love it. I was actually supposed to interview him, I think like the day after I broke my neck in 21, and Gigi jumped in, and I was very delighted that she was able to go over and do that interview for me because I was a little incapacitated and have... I was kind of stuck in a chair with the brace on. But it's lovely to have him with us. I'm going to have 2 segments with him later on in the show and chat about all of his successes, which are many. I would say he's probably the best Grand Prix rider that's ever come out of the USA. And so it's huge big deal to have him here with us. So we're going to start off, though, with some news and announcements. And then later on, we're going to have a couple of young ladies in here you're going to absolutely love that are world champion and reserve world champion themselves. So we've got Lillian, Hampton-Fortner and Avery, Emrick. They are RSNC champions. And they're going to be with us later on. So we're just going to call this the Champion Show because it seems to fit somehow.
Well, I feel special now.
Yeah, we got riding royalty with us. The Horse Protection Association of Florida, who turned tragedy into triumph. Pete, what's up with that?
We're going to do a spirit walk. So it's a really good opportunity to go out there and get to go with nature and walk these little miniature horses to give them exercise. And they have a neat little thing where you stop at different places and sit, and they have this little booklet that you can fill out and kind of get back with nature. And the names are the perfect part of the
faith, hope, love, and courage. We love that. Second Saturday of the month, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. You must reserve ahead of time with the Horse Protection Association of Florida in Micanopy. You can get in touch with Christine at hpaf.org if you'd like to do that. They're a little small for you to jump, aren't they?
They might be small for jumping, but they'll keep a jumping horse that's nervous a bit of company.
That's right. They will indeed. Yes, they will.
And we do have a couple minis that keep some of our horses company. So they're, what do they call those? Service animals.
Yeah, service animals, companions. That's right. And I think we had ride, run, roll.
And relay.
Yes, don't be a fool on April 1st. Florida Horse Park, get signed up. There's going to be raffles, food, vendor booths, and this great fun triathlon. You can have one runner, one equestrian, and one mountain biker. And it's going to be a little bit of a relay there to see who wins. You can do all 3 legs yourself if you're really brave. Apparently, I'm riding Pete's running or dancing, actually, which should be quite funny. And then Isaac, our show producer, is going to be the mountain biker, and Gigi is going to record it all for posterity because it should be fairly funny.
How far is the running and the biking? Is the question.
That's a good question, right?
I think each leg is 5K.
Maybe I can talk.
I hope so, because I don't know if I could last longer than that.
Maybe I can talk Aaron Vale. I hear he's a pretty fast rider, and I could probably talk him into doing the riding for me. Then we might win. We actually might have a chance. It's $70 per racer, and you can actually do a solo team for $150 if you're brave. So it looks like you get a little bit of a discount if you're brave enough to do all three. And this all goes to benefit the Volunteer Association of the Cross Florida Greenway, who keep our greenways so beautiful.
Let's just pay $70 a person and get the money for the benefit there.
There you go, exactly.
Then I don't have to run? Sounds great.
runsignup.com/triple-r-relay to sign up for that. So, or go to their Facebook page and you can get more information. April 1st, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the wonderful and beautiful, picturesque Florida Horse Park, who we love dearly. So, April 1st, get signed up. Here you go, Pete.
Here is the
Ranch sorting.
SRS, Southern Ranch Sorting.
That's right.
We're going to have this March 18th and 19th is their next one. It's at Marcus Kent Arena in Denellen, 4410 West Lonely Court, Denellen, Florida.
Sponsored by our good old friends at Larson Hay. So we love
Alfalfa's finest.
That's right. You can go and watch those too. 28th Annual Arabian Show is coming up March 31st to April the 2nd, and that is at the World Equestrian Centre. Absolutely beautiful Arabian horses. It's a great place to go and watch that, so that should be a good show. It's the Expo, or one of them anyway. An all equine industry expo is at World Equestrian Centre coming up this weekend, presented by Ariat. There should be about 150 vendors at this.
Wait a minute, say that again.
What?
Ariat?
Yes.
Ariat?
I talk funny.
Yeah, you do.
And you can stop in and see the handsome one and only Ben Heatherly.
Woohoo!
The fly stops here. And see, we've got
Piranha
goodies here for Aaron. We've got a bag of goodies here.
It disappears.
And we've got some coupons. It always disappears. Look. See that? It's crazy how the bag disappears. And we've also given him some lip chip goodies and told him all about lip chip, which is very exciting. So this is for you.
All right,
your
wonderful.
goodie bag. And what else do we have? Do we have anything else we need to mention? Only this.
March 29th.
Yes.
Equine Industry Expo.
Yes, this is a great way to learn all about the horse industry. We will actually have 12 or 13 horses downtown. We'll have a barn set up by Clayton Fredericks, our dear friend from FEI Stabling. We'll have a round pen here with some demos from some horsemanship people.
Who's that?
We might.
Aaron's coming out.
I know.
Is that what you're saying?
Aaron Vale. We should plaster that all over the middle of it. Everybody
If
will
I
show
don't
up.
go to Wellington to show in the 5-star that week, I will come.
Look at that.
I may have a show that week.
What a guy. That would be lovely if you could join us for a little bit and come and chat to some of the kids. So we'll have demos. We'll have equine dentist and farrier here doing some demonstrations, some food trucks, some free carriage rides courtesy of Larson Farms. We'll have some equestrians, some breeders, some demonstrations going on. It should be really, really enjoyable, a lot of fun. You can meet the horses, take some photos, learn about all of our 62 breeds that we know of that we have in the horse capital. And we'll have quite a few of those here for you to meet. Gypsy Vannas, Quarter Horse, Pasofino, Mangalaga Marchador from Brazil.
I haven't heard of that one.
That's a new one. Oh, it's lovely. I should get you on one. You'd love it. Oh, it's the most amazing smooth ride. So we'll have some fantastic horses here. Jodie Moore's going to bring her beautiful Appaloosa. We'll have the miniatures from Gentle Carousel Miniature Therapy Horses, who are currently visiting our elementary schools with their books. And Magic is officially an Ocala PD police officer now. So she's also going with police officers into the schools to create relationships between the kids and law enforcement. So lots of exciting stuff there. So we'll have some amazing horses here for you to meet and greet with for that. And we'll have a classroom set up as well that Michelle Fortner from Fortner Farms will be in the classroom and with a lot of her group of kids to talk to you about all sorts of different horse sports so you can learn about that. And then I was just mentioning to Erin before the show that Sister's Place in Williston is the best place to have a delicious breakfast or lunch, and that is also a Fortner business, so we love to visit them in Williston, and we're big fans of Williston people because look, I mean, here we are with Aaron Vale, and coming up next we have Dr. Adam Cayot from Peterson Smith. He's going to be talking about wobblers. And then after that, we'll be coming back with Aaron to chat about his from childhood all the way to now, all of his incredible successes. And first and second, very recently, like this month, in the Grand Prix, which was pretty cool. Talk about being in the money. Stay with us. We'll be back in a few minutes.
This portion of the show is presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And our TV broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Supporting sponsors are DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip LLC, Piranha, Florida HVAC Services, Crystal Cryo, Ocala Dog Ranch, and The Drinking Post. This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
With over 70 years of collective experience in the horse industry, Lip Chip was built with integrity by horsemen for horsemen. Introducing the Chip Link system, powered by Lip Chip, where a 15-digit unique ID becomes a key to unlock not only identity, but also health paperwork, owner information, and even photos of each horse. So simple, even a child can do it. The future is here. The future is Lip Chip.
Experience the bluegrass. Step into the Elwood Hotel and Suites, situated in the heart of Lexington. Elwood is a unique yet familiar place, your home base, to explore, minutes from the University of Kentucky and the best distilleries on the Bourbon Trail. Only a short drive from horse country and from the iconic Keeneland racetrack. Full of warm, natural light, Elwood rooms are inviting, a space to retreat, rewind and relax, from spacious rooms to extended stay suites. Each room is unique, just like you. Don't miss a beat in your fitness routine either, and your furry friend is welcome too. Elwood has cozy beds, yummy treats, and snuggles too. Elwood is more than a landing place. It's a tribute to a contemporary southern lifestyle, a delicious place to refuel and to launch your Lexington adventure. Book your stay at theelwoodhotel.com and like them on Facebook now. Settle in at Elwood and begin generating memories in the heart of the bluegrass. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
I'm Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television here at Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care in the horse capital of the world. I've got Dr. Adam Cayot here in the barn with me, and we're going to talk about wobbler syndrome. Dr. Cayot, that's kind of a strange sounding thing. I don't think I'd want to have a horse that had wobbler syndrome.
Well, it's called wobbler syndrome because that's what they do. They tend to wobble. So typically wobbler syndrome, the scientific name is cervical vertebral instability. So what happens typically is the vertebrae in the neck are malaligned, and that malalignment causes impingement on the spinal cord. And when the spinal cord gets pinched, becomes inflamed, and then certainly the neurotransmitter processing doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Wobbler syndrome is can be a devastating disease, certainly. It typically happens in your bigger, growthier horses, thoroughbreds, warm bloods, and particularly in stallions, because they're growing bigger and, they tend to grow faster. And so you can have these problems. Certainly, I think that there is a genetic component to this. And the Wobbler syndrome can kind of have a full range of periodically ataxic, meaning they have this, drunk kind of appearance where they aren't walking straight, or they kind of wobble back and forth, to being severely affected and being down, and unable to get up. So I've seen it happen in horses that have been normal, and then the horse is normal. They go outside and they roughhouse with their buddies, and they're banging each other's necks around, and then they come in from the field and they can hardly walk. So I've had that happen. That's kind of what we call a dynamic instability. So when things happen and they cause some trauma to the spinal cord at that point. Yep. And yeah, exactly. And so but then there's others that are that way all the time. It's like I said before, it can be devastating. Certainly there's a few places in the country that do a surgery to fuse the those vertebrae that are unstable with success sometimes, or limited success, I guess is what I'm looking for. But success is relative. Like what you say success is the success that this horse is able to graze out in the field, or is this success to be an athlete again? Some of them do become athletes, but honestly, most of them do not. It's expensive surgery. And the outcome is not great most of the time, depending on the severity. Certainly, a lot of those times, those horses are elected to be euthanized, because they're a danger to themselves and they're a danger to the people around them, because they can fall at any time. And certainly you wouldn't want to put a rider on, or even a handler, if you're going to have 1,000-pound animal that has a chance to hurt someone like that. So, it's a unfortunate problem, and one that we certainly are aware of. Certainly other things that can cause these sorts of signs are EPM. Yep, certainly EPM is kind of number one at the top of the list, and then certainly some other herpes can cause neurologic problems, viral things, West Nile, any of those things can cause that as well. So certainly a wobbler syndrome has to be on your list of differentials when you see a horse presented like that, and then it kind of moves higher to the top if the horse is younger, a big growthy horse, and that sort of thing. So certainly you have to keep that in mind when you're dealing with something like that.
That actually brings me to another point for the second part of this segment, which is it's got to be very difficult to be a veterinarian, in my opinion, much more difficult than being a doctor, because you can't ask and get an answer. Where does it hurt? How does it feel? And all of that. And what are your symptoms? So when you go to look at a horse, and bringing up a good point, I was thinking of EPM when you were talking about it. When you go and look at a horse, isn't it really difficult? I mean, if you've got the history, and if the horse has been your patient for a long time, I'm sure that really helps, because you know what kind of disposition and different things about the horse's history. But when you go to look at a horse, there's so many things you mentioned, like West Nile and equine herpes, and of course EPM, all sort of have some similar symptoms. When you go and initially evaluate a horse, what's the first things that you're looking at if it's not been a long time patient necessarily of yours?
Well, history is number one. Usually if you can get a good history from the person that's with the horse, or that knows the horse better than you, that helps immensely. If you don't have that, then you just kind of got to start clicking off your boxes. Certainly do blood work. You start testing for things, and you do a full neuro evaluation, a full physical exam can give you a lot of information. Certainly if a horse presents like that and hasn't been vaccinated in 2 years, then you're thinking, well, that moves things up to the top, if the horse has been on a stressful schedule and is doing all that thing, doing a horse show circuit or a race circuit or whatever, then other things kind of move up to the top and things kind of slide down. If the horse is young and growthy and tends to be ataxic, well, that moves wobbler kind of up to the top. So certainly history is very important. And if you can get as much history, that helps. It's like you said, we can't ask them questions on where they've been, what they've been doing, or anything like that. And then kind of their signalment. How old is this horse? What's this horse look like? What's the physical exam look like? So we go through all of those things as we're evaluating this patient to try to get a diagnosis on what's going on.
And then the only other thing I can think of is, funny story, not a Peterson and Smith veterinarian, I might add, but there was a veterinarian out at a farm where I was keeping my horse years ago, and he was a gaited horse, and he was a Tennessee Walker. And one of the veterinarians or the technician that was out there saw him running across the field and said, I think he has EPM. I said, no, he's a Tennessee Walker. A Peterson and Smith veterinarian would never, ever have done that. But that's something definitely to think about, right? When you're examining a horse, whether it's for a pre-purchase exam or an illness, is you're not going to want to look at a horse and say, oh, it's lame, when it's really just gaited and it moves differently. So that's something to take into consideration in exams for this sort of thing, right?
Absolutely. The breed of horse and what they do for a living is all part of that. And certainly gaited horses can be very difficult to get a lameness on because they don't move like a normal horse, So when we're used to looking and evaluating lamenesses on normal horses that trot and walk and canter the way normal horses walk, when you get a gaited horse like a mountain horse or a walking horse or a Paso Fino or any of those types of things, then it can make the evaluation process much more difficult. But we try to work through it the best we can.
And you're fortunate in Ocala, the horse capital of the world, where we have 62 breeds. You get to see a lot.
Diversity helps.
Diversity central here in the horse capital. Thank you, Dr. Adam Cayot from Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. I'm Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show.
This portion of the show is presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, and our TV broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Supporting sponsors are DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip LLC, Piranha, Florida HVAC Services, Crystal Cryo, Ocala Dog Ranch, and The Drinking Post. This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
With over 70 years of collective experience in the horse industry, Lip Chip was built with integrity by horsemen for horsemen. Introducing the Chip Link system. Powered by Lip Chip, where a 15-digit unique ID becomes a key to unlock not only identity, but also health paperwork, owner information, and even photos of each horse. So simple, even a child can do it. The future is here. The future is Lip Chip.
Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the third segment of the Horse Talk Show presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Yes, he is fanning me because I ran to the CEP building and back. And yes, I'm unfit and I'm sweating. So this is the CEP Equine Studios in the CEP's Equine building for the Equine Initiative, and we are the only chamber in the world that has an Equine Initiative. We've had it since 2016, and we've done lots and lots of exciting stuff with the Equine Initiative, and I had to run over to the CEP because I had to get one of these, because guess who's on the front? I think I'll have him autograph it. What do you think? Woo-hoo. I wanted to get him one and us one, and so we need a stack of these. Big time here. But this is Aaron Vale on the front, and this is Aaron Vale in person. And there is probably about 50,000 of these made that went out to all of our CEP partners at the annual luncheon last week and went out all around town. These will be everywhere for the entire year. They're the relocation guide. For Ocala, and every hotel, every business, every CEP partner, when we have over 1,600 of those, gets one of these. So it has our directory of all of our partners in it, and lots of other great stuff.
But the best part, it has Aaron Vale
on the cover.
On the cover, jumping with a helmet. Because when he walked in, I didn't recognize him because I'd only seen pictures and videos with him with a helmet on.
That's funny.
So it's nice to see your civilian look.
Well, thank you.
This is the civilian look, yes.
I don't know, that helmet might help.
And which horse is this on the front?
This is a horse, Boreal de Talma is her name. And a friend of mine, I was competing the mare for my friend Mike Connors. And now his wife, mother of his children, is now competing her, and they're doing quite well also.
Amazing. So you have to send her a copy as well.
I'm going to have to
you
send
better have another one.
Yeah,
I've
got to give this to Mike because that's his horse on there.
There you go. So. That's fantastic. Aaron, you're the biggest name in, as far as the USA goes, you are absolutely the biggest name in Grand Prix jumping. Your success just supersedes you. There's nobody, I think, in the horse world that doesn't know your name. That's pretty awesome accolade to have. You definitely soar over the jumps. I know you couldn't help it. That's
soar is the word of the day.
It's the word. SOAR is the word of the day.
Not soaring.
Pete will struggle to catch up with me, I'm sure.
Yes, I will.
But when I read about you growing up around horses, and I read that you were on a horse the day before you were born, and you were on a horse the day
before I was born and the day after I was born.
And the day after.
I don't know why they didn't get me on a horse the day I was born, but that was their mistake.
The day after. So tell us about your family. You grew up with a family who have been in the horse world, been great success in the horse world. So starting out right from the beginning, you were around horses and loved them.
Yep, grew up on a farm with horses. My dad was a vet and also a rider and trainer, and my mother was a trainer and licensed instructor. She went to London to get certified, which was a thing. Nobody's certified barely these days, but even way back then, she made the effort and spent a summer in England doing a course and all that to become certified. So I grew up with horses and instruction and all that right from the get-go.
Right from the get-go.
So what did they train for?
They hunter jumpers. Back in those days, it wasn't quite like it is now, but hunter jumpers, and they actually ran schooling shows at the farm I grew up on once in a while, and I was scared to canter back then, so those before I was even jumping, they'd let me show in every under saddle class during the horse show, and when it went time to canter, they said you can go stand in the center of the arena. And one day I was too embarrassed to go stand in the center of the arena, and I just stayed out on the rail and cantered, and that's when I started cantering. probably 5 years old or something.
Really? That's wonderful.
Wow.
So you went up kind of all the way through your childhood. You did not just jumping, you've done equitation and excelled at that. You didn't like that, right?
Well, I mean, it's not...
It's not as exciting,
It's
is it?
not as exciting, but I mean, it's...
You don't get a chance to soar over the jumps.
The idea is that it teaches you the basics of horsemanship for our discipline and all that. So,
yes, that's true.
So there is some good to come from it, even though it's not, it's more like school than recess,
Right, yes.
So for someone that doesn't know what you do, explain the competition part and what you're looking for.
Well, we need a horse that's athletic enough to jump big fences. I mean, the top of the sport, the Olympics or whatever, you're going to be jumping fences that are 5'2", 5'4", a course nearly 17 jumping efforts at that height that's quite demanding. So, you need an athletic horse. The aerobic part of it, I mean, is almost like a horse running a race, at the Breeders' Cup or whatever. So there's a lot of factors that go into it, as well as, to get a horse schooled to this level of jumping, probably they're not going to be ready for that until they're 10, 11, 12 years old. So it's a long road to get there. It's a lot for the horse and the rider, so it's a job. It's a job. It's a dedication to get to Grand Prix or even international Grand Prix, which is the top of the sport.
So it's a timed event?
Yes. I mean, when we're jumping a course, you have to complete the course within a certain amount of time, and then everybody that jumps a clean round and is qualified then comes back and jumps a shorter course to see who's the fastest with the least faults. So there's quite a bit of speed involved in it.
So it's a clear round for the first go round, and there's faults if you knock one down or refuse one.
Right
there's
there.
Kinza.
Yeah,
look at
Kinza.
that. Look at that pony too.
Yeah.
What a cutie.
She's just 6 years old right there.
And how she's 9 now.
9 now.
9 now. So that was about 3 years ago.
So
how about you? Did you have little ponies when you were little?
Not. I had one pony when I was quite young, and Miss Pickles.
Miss Pickles.
She was a super. Well, I don't know if she was a super pony, but I remember she used to get loose all the time. My parents would turn her out in the in the arena because they didn't have the other horses got priority to the grass paddocks, and they'd shut the gate with a leather strap, and she'd chew through the leather strap, and then she'd be gone.
Naughty ponies.
She'd be gone for a couple days at that point. We had to go find my pony. Sometimes she was gone for a while, but she always came back.
She'd come back and get
found
hungry
her.
eventually, right, and come and return.
So how tall are these jumps?
Those jumps are most of those in those pictures are 1.50 m, which is approximately 5 foot, just a notch under 5 foot.
That's amazing, isn't it? To think just a little bit.
So are you scared at all?
No, I mean not with horses that you train and live with. I mean, you know what they can do, what they trust you to tell them to do, and they trust you and you trust them. I mean, now if it's a horse that doesn't have that confidence or something, then I mean
that can be
you don't even want to be in there on a horse like that. I mean,
sure.
If the horse isn't confident enough to take a pretty good shot at what you're doing, there's no need to be at that level. That's not good horsemanship at that point.
We have to wrap this segment up, but we've got Aaron Vale with us for another segment, so stay with us on the Horse Talk Show for the second half is coming right up.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever heard of a horse that can talk? Listen to this. With your host, Louisa Barton. She's literally in love with every horse. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. She's back in the saddle again. And now here's your host,
Pretty.
Louisa Barton! She's a Brit, she's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa.
With over 70 years of collective experience in the horse industry, Lip Chip was built with integrity by horsemen for horsemen. Introducing the Chip Link system, powered by Lip Chip, where a 15-digit unique ID becomes a key to unlock not only identity, but also health paperwork, owner information, and even photos of each horse. So simple, even a child can do it. The future is here. The future is Lip Chip.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
The Equine Performance and Innovative Center, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centers for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet.
Your Chevy hometown experience.
There's me, says I should leave him to it. And what happens? Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here, host of the Horse Talk Show, in the studio with Dancing Pete Rodda, my co-host, and we have a very special guest, Aaron Vale. We should have him on the show much more often.
Yeah, because you didn't even hear the whinny, and we kept on rolling because we were having so much fun.
We were having such a good time. I mean, really. So we were talking about Miss Pickles. Was it Miss Pickles?
Miss Pickles.
Miss Pickles, yes.
Yeah.
We were talking about Miss Pickles and going from ponies and onto horses. And as a teenager, like, through your teen years, did you start to excel right away, or has this been a process over years and years to get to?
No, as a teenager, 13, 14 years old, I started, catch riding and getting paid to ride and show people's horses back then. So I've been a professional a long time with that in mind. So I guess at that point I was recognized that I was talented at the game and all that. So,
and what is catch riding?
Catch riding means you ride somebody else's horse at the competition, maybe to market it in a
different division, or get points for it or whatever, and
have somebody that knows what they're doing riding it,
and have somebody that knows what they're doing it. So.
It's a great opportunity. You get to ride a lot of different horses.
So I got to, at an early age, I got a lot of experience riding lots of horses for lots of different people. So it was more so even than just the horses. Whoever owned that horse, and they had the horse with a trainer. So I got to pick up tidbits from lots of different trainers, showing other people's horses. So I was exposed to lots of different ideas and, little tricks of the trade and whatnot. So.
And then you met Mallory, and actually you had a friend, I think, that was trying to set you up with somebody else.
Yeah.
And the Mallory was with the person that you were supposed to.
Where did you get all these stories?
She started an equestrian dating thing, so she had to do her research on.
I had to do my research.
You did.
But how awesome it is that you and Mallory, well, you don't compete against each other.
Occasionally.
Do you occasionally?
Yeah. She's got a horse she's recently started jumping in the Grand Prix. So out of hits the last few weeks. She's actually been in the jump off the last couple Sundays against me. So
how does that go when you go home?
Well, it's fine because she.
You wouldn't let her win, would you?
Well, no, I would never let her win. I would root for her to beat me, but I would never let her win. Okay. Of course not. So
that's really cool. And Kinza's coming up in the sport too.
Kinza's coming up. She's got ponies that she's jumping, and
so do you think she's going to go the direction you did?
She seems to really like it. We've been lucky to have nice ponies. I actually her pony her main pony right now that we own, I spotted it years ago before she was even, and I saw that pony showing, and I'm like, I need that pony for my daughter. So I started being nice to the little girl that owned it. She eventually came and started riding with me, and I traded her an old Grand Prix horse. She was kind of getting too big for the pony, so I traded her a horse and got the nice pony for my daughter. So it all worked out. And she has a wonderful pony named Magic Beans. And
Magic Beans.
Beans is pretty magic. We love Beans. So
that's wonderful. So the whole family is involved in this.
The whole
really
family's
wonderful.
Involved.
That's
and
wonderful.
My daughter says, what she had to do a project for school. What do you like most about your family? And she says, well, what I like most about my family is we're all competitive. So,
and she is too.
None of us is going to let someone else win. If we're competing against each other, no one's going to let it happen. As I say, we would root for the other ones, but we're not going to.
We're not going to let.
Nobody's going to. Oh, no. She's leading. I'm just going to take it easy. That's not happening in our house.
That's not going to happen. Let's talk about this February. Just recently, you had first and second. At WEC, right? And how about that for being?
Well, that wasn't that was just the welcome Grand Prix. It was even a bigger week. It was a bigger week than that. I see one of the pictures going across there of that.
Yes.
But we were first and second in the welcome there. Then the next day at Hits, I won the welcome Grand Prix there on the other side of town. Then Saturday, I won, or actually that week we jumped outside. They had the big equitation class in the main arena. So Sunday morning, I won the 100,000. Here's the jump off showing right now. And then later that afternoon, well, it wasn't that much later, but that afternoon we went to Hits and we won that Grand Prix as well. So four for four that week. So it was a. Yeah.
Can't complain there.
Yeah, we got to make a nice deposit at the bank the next week. When they printed checks, we had a nice day at the bank.
That's really good now that you have a daughter that's coming up in this world. You need to put some in the bank, right?
And what is your tagline? I've read something about you that think like a horse?
Thinks like a horse.
He wanted think like a horse.
Oh, okay.
But, this is that's my email address is thinks like a horse. I was signing up for it was meant to be think like a horse, but back in the days of dial-up, I lost the connection partway through the process. When I logged back in, I didn't have enough information to get back to where I was, and it said think like a horse was already taken, so I had to add the S and finish the process.
It still works, yes.
It's a bit presumptuous, I want to think like a horse, so the thinks like a horse, is a it's okay, it's fine.
Yeah, it's good. But that's important to you. Your horses are important to you.
Oh,
the relationship with the horse is so important.
It's been my life, everything I've gotten, my house, my farm, my wife, my daughter, everything has been because of the horse. So, I have to, my whole life is basically the horse. So, the horse is everything to me.
Yes, the money and the winnings and all that is absolutely wonderful, but the animal itself is just
that allows
a prize,
us to
right?
have the horses and take care of them.
Exactly.
So that's part of it as well.
Yes.
But without the horse, I'd be working at McDonald's or something.
Oh, you'd be a Walmart groomer.
Thanks.
You got that personality.
He'd be smiling though. Look at the smile.
They're not even putting me in Chick-fil-A. Jeez.
Oh, my fault. Chick-fil-A. Sorry, Chick-fil-A.
I know we must be getting close to the end of the segment. I hate that we are, but we are. But what do you attribute your success to?
Well, God-given talent, number one, but desire to compete, and the will to keep doing it and putting the effort in to because in horses, it comes down to work. If you don't put the work in, you're not going to get the results. So.
You're so right, yeah.
I wish you'd put that on a billboard for a lot of horse people.
Exactly. I
There's
say
no
that
shortcuts.
every time I get asked or interviewed for something, it comes down to how are you going to be successful? Work. Because it's an all day, every day, it's mental work, it's physical work, thinking, if I lose this week, my brain is just going a million miles an hour figuring out what I have to do different mentally to get the horse focused or thinking the right way to do his job. So,
Aaron, it's such an honor to have you with us.
Well,
the
thank
horse
you so
winning.
much.
So, I can't believe we're done already. It was so fantastic
We'll have
to
to have
chat to
him
him.
back.
Well, actually, I'm just going to go out to the farm and get him out there because that'll be awesome. We can see Kenzie too. So,
come out for
Aaron,
a day.
thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for
It's
having
such
me.
An honor. Yes.
Wonderful.
We'll be back in just a few minutes. We've got some sorting with some other champions, so stay with us.
Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, Equine, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance and Innovative Center. Having an air conditioner that works well in Florida is a must. Experience peace of mind by working with Florida HVAC Services, a family-owned and operated company taking pride in always putting their customers first, providing air conditioner repair, installation, and maintenance services on all makes and models. For those suffering from allergies or asthma, air quality testing is recommended and hospital-grade air filters are available. Ask about a pure air filtration system today. Check them out at flhvacservices.com or like them on Facebook. Florida HVAC Services, serving all of North Central Florida with honesty, integrity, and the highest value of workmanship. And that's 100% guaranteed.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads. This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family-owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at seminolefeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
My name is Dr. Natalie Solomon. I formulated Equine with cutting-edge science and technology alongside the passion that is represented by a lifelong love of horses. I created a product that I would trust for my horses because they deserve nothing but the best for their bodies. Horses rely on us to take care of them, to love them, to respect them. This is how Equine came to life. Equine, CBD for your horse that you can trust.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with my co-host Dancing Pete Rodda, who's dancing for us. And we're going to talk a little bit of ranch sorting. Very excited to have two champions here.
Whoa. We went from Aaron to two more champions.
I know, it's like, it must be, this is champion night. Apparently we should rename this. This is champion night.
That's right.
Right. So I have Lillian and Avery here, right?
So which one's Lillian?
I'm Lillian.
You're Lillian? Okay, just checking.
So Lillian is a Fortner Farms Williston girl, and I've been to Fortner Farms, which, by the way, is the most amazing, awesome place. And CEP is going to do some Fortner Farm days coming up when, limited to 10 CEP partners, they're going to get to go out and actually have a Fortner Farms day and learn how to do everything from the taking care of the horses all the way up to the getting on the horse, and then they're going to learn how to sort, and that's pretty exciting stuff. So and Larson Hay and Piranha are huge supporters of Fortner Farms, so that's a big plus there. So we love Fortner Farms, and the owners of Fortner Farms also owns Sister's Place, which is only the best restaurant in my opinion in Williston. And you cannot have people actually go there for breakfast, go back to work and leave again and come back to go for lunch. So if that doesn't tell you something about Fortner Farms. And
when are we going?
Or as often as we can.
I don't live that far from Williston.
We try and go as often as we can, and Michelle's amazing. She's like a workaholic. She's the most amazing, Michelle Fortner, amazing woman. And then the Emricks, I've known them forever and ever and ever, and what a lovely family. I've known your dad from way back when he was regular at the CEP as part of All In, and of course I've known your beautiful mother for about as long as well. So another lovely family that are very vested in our equine community. So lovely to have you both with us. Champ and reserve champ.
So who's champ? Who's reserve? Okay.
We're both reserve together.
Oh, both.
She got champion and reserve champion.
Okay.
Yes.
So when did you guys get started riding horses?
I got started riding about 4 years ago. Well, I started sorting about 4 years ago. And then I didn't really know much about them, but I've always been around them. So.
And you've, how long?
I've been riding my whole life, but I started Hunter Jumpers when I was like 10 years old. And then she asked me to go to a show that she was showing at for the sorting that was right across the street from my house, and I went, and me and my dad got on a horse, and we just never stopped.
You just loved it. So you guys have known each other since before pre-K?
Forever.
Like
forever.
Our parents were friends before we were even thought of.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So long time. So are you competitive with one another?
We are, but we support each other.
It's kind of like the Aaron Vale story. We're not going to let you win, but we'll cheer you on, right?
Pretty much.
We'll cry in the corner later, right? Kick the dirt.
So tell us about sorting. Tell us about the sport of sorting. Tell us kind of how you, first of all, what you like about a horse for sorting, what kind of things you look for, and then we'll actually talk about the sport and what the rules are and everything. And I think we've got some photos and things to pop up while you're talking. If you're watching us on the television or Facebook, if you're listening on the radio, you might need to go find us on Equus TV, and so you can have a good look. So tell us a little bit, first of all, what do you like about a horse for sorting?
So sorting, you can do a bunch of different things. So it goes from just being able to go on a trail ride to showing them at World Finals. So it takes a lot of stuff to keep them ready to show, because if you just ride them at shows every weekend, then they're not ready.
So there's a lot of work in between every day with them.
Every day.
So you have to keep them very fit.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
kind of horses?
Quarter horses.
There you go. Look at them. Beautiful. So is there an age that you like these horses to be when you start them? Do you like to start them younger?
Younger, yes.
So a bunch of people in the sport like horses at 3, 4, 5, but we prefer them to be around 7, 8, just because their mind's better.
So you like them a little bit more mature?
We have a variety of everything.
Do you? How many do you have?
Oh gosh.
When you say "oh gosh," that means it's a lot.
Around 20 right now.
20. Wow.
ma'am.
So on the farm, on Fortner Farms, is it just you and the family that look after all the horses?
So we do, and it's our family, and then we have a few other people that come and help us too.
So it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
And you have to do it all, right? So you have to do the feeding and the grooming and the caring and
Yes, ma'am.
for them and everything.
Do you guys feed the cows?
We do, we do.
Yay.
So you have cows on the farm?
We do.
You do. And how often do you train or practice?
So normally, when we ride them during the week, me and my sisters, Gracie and Abigail, we will lope them out. And the ones that goes to shows every weekend, we try to not to put them on cows every day. So we normally just lope them. And the ones that are in training, that's my stepdad, Grady Fortner. He rides them on cows and trains them to be ready for shows and for the people to ride them at shows.
Wow. So, Avery, tell us a little bit background. You said you were in the hunter jumper world.
Yes, ma'am.
So how long did you do that for?
Not like half a year. It wasn't very long.
Not very long.
I started at a little camp, and then a trainer came in for a clinic, and I started going to private lessons at her house. And I've started riding her horses at shows for like half a year. It wasn't a very long time.
Not very long. Did you enjoy that?
It was a lot of fun, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so you like jumping. So you started that, but then when you saw the sorting, you just that appealed to you more.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. So how did you work your way up to excelling? How obviously it's a big deal to be a champion or a reserve champion. How did you work your way up to that? Is it consistency, riding all the time, great teachers?
You ride at your house a lot every week, at least 3 or 4 times, maybe more. And you watch your higher ranked riders in the division because you're ranked at number ratings 1 through 10, and based on the
abilities?
Based on their ability and their money earned.
Money earned?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so you earn money?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm in the wrong business. We should be jumping and sorting.
We should be jumping and sorting. Maybe we should be doing both.
Yeah. Aaron's new. He's going to go start sorting.
So what are we watching here now? What are we watching?
What's the rules?
Yes, rules.
So there's different classes, and so the lowest in RS&C is the number 4 class, and that's for the lower riders to get a chance to ride with each other rather than against the higher ranked riders. This is the youth here.
So you just sorted a cow out, right?
Yes, ma'am. The announcer will call a number, and you can see the people up there on the stand with the flag. That's the judge, and they watch the run. So the announcer will call the number and see how they're switching back and forth. You get the first number out, and then you get the second number after that, and you kind of just keep going until your time's up. And if any cow gets out of order and goes past the line, it's considered a DQ.
Really?
Wow.
So the cows can't go out of order. They have to go out in the order that they're numbered.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow. So
You can see those people getting excited down there.
yes, they're very excited, aren't they? Look at them.
That's actually Avery on her run that she ended up winning world champion in the youth.
Woohoo! Wow.
Everyone was excited for them. So
Now, why was there a cow left in there? Was there supposed to be a cow?
because that's the blank cow. Yes, ma'am.
The blank cow.
So in RS&C, there's one blank cow left.
Does he know he's the blank cow? Hold that
It just
thought.
depends.
We're going to come right back. We have to go to break, but we're going to come right back with these young ladies. We're going to finish up with them, and then we've got Pete's horsemanship tip of the week. So stay with us on the Horse Talk Show for the last segment.
Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, Equine, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance and Innovative Center.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
The Equine Performance and Innovative Center, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centers for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
Reboot Self-Care Center in Ocala is the future of integrative healthcare, utilizing natural self-care protocols and the finest in modern technology. Instead of treating you, we are teaching you. Learn how to combat threats to your own health and protect your family. For weight control, performance enhancement, anti-aging, self-detoxing, or preparing for pregnancy, Reboot Self-Care will teach you how to improve your own health. Like us on Facebook now and find us on the web at rebootselfcare.com.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the final segment of the Horse Talk Show for this week, presented by Palm Chevrolet,
your hometown Chevy experience.
Thank you to Larson Farms, our TV broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio dancing Pete Rodda from Complementary Horsemanship. And we have a couple of young champions with us. Aaron Vale just left to head home to have some homemade chicken pot pie. Sounds like he has other talents other than being the best Grand Prix rider from the USA. And I think excelling to be the best Grand Prix rider perhaps in the world. Shall we just say that since he's a Williston chap?
We'll
super,
just go ahead. Super nice guy.
Oh yeah,
very humble.
He is salt of the earth. He's a great guy. It was a real honor to have him here, and to have a couple of young ladies here also champions in their sport. We've been chatting to these two young ladies, Lillian and Avery. And we've been talking a little bit about Fortner Farms. I think we have a Fortner Farms. I don't know if we've already put it up or not yet, but if we haven't, we've got a Fortner Farms banner that can go up here on the screen as well. Yeah, there you go. Fortner Farms, Williston. We love them. What a great place. Their arena sponsored by Larson Farms. A wonderful partner with the show that we love so much. And Fortner Farms is a beautiful, beautiful place. Amazing horses. I was so impressed by the family and the way they all work together to make everything work and to look after all the animals, the horses and the cows, and then to be successful and dedicated to their sport and then also own a restaurant in their spare time. I mean, it's like a lot, you know. Yeah, delicious. We do need to go and eat breakfast there again this week.
Again this week.
So let's start with you. Tell us first of all, Lillian, what do you attribute your success to? Is it the family all working together? Is that what kind of gets you where you need to be?
So, yes, ma'am. My family helps me with everything. We help each other. Without them, obviously, I wouldn't be able to be at the shows. Her family has helped us a lot to get to shows because it's hard to go to every show, all of us, so it's a group effort for sure.
Group effort. So definitely Fortners and Emricks all working together to accomplish these sorts of things.
And you guys are 13?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
That's amazing. So when you won the champion and the reserve champion, was it close at the end? You didn't know who was gonna get it, or do you know in this sport fairly?
So it was a little bit ago. So her run was before our run. So her and Abigail Knight, Abigail Knight's from Georgia. Their run was before our run, and so they got a bunch of cows. So me and her knew that we were going to need a bunch of cows to be put up top too. And
so you got to watch her go, and then you went.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you help each other a lot when you're at these events together?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you do. So the idea is to get the cows out of the arena in a certain order. And is it timed? This is timed?
It is timed.
It is
60
timed.
seconds.
And then there's a blank cow.
There's a blank cow. Why is there a blank cow?
A little bit more competition.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. So there's just a blank cow that has no number.
Has no number, and it depends
Poor
on the
cow.
organization. RSNC, there's one blank cow, and then USTBA, there's two.
There's two blank cows.
I'm pretty sure it can be up to 4 blank cows, but I could be wrong.
Really?
Wow.
It's a very exciting sport.
It is.
It is very competitive, yes.
It is, yes,
Even
ma'am.
at your age group, it's very competitive.
Mm.
So do you have like a bucket list with this sport that you'd like?
So, just being able to accomplish more. Like, this is a lot already, but being able to accomplish more in bigger classes. Because the youth is very big at World Finals, but it'd be nice to be in one of those bigger classes one day.
Absolutely. And good hay and good fly spray are very important, right? You've got to have the best hay, right? Got to have Larson hay and some good fly spray to keep the bugs away. So we've got some goodie bags for you here that are going to disappear because they always do. So goodie bags from Piranha for you right here. And we've got some lip chip caps down there as well if you guys want caps. But stay with us. We're going to keep you with us till the end. We love what you're doing. We're proud of both of you. It's lovely to see the youth working so hard. And March 29th for the Equine Industry Expo, these young ladies are going to be here with us. So you can chat to them in the classroom area, learn more about sorting and about how you can actually be part of this sport yourself if you're interested and be part of coming out to Fortner Farms with us. And we're very excited to have them with us. But we are going to switch it up just for a minute to Pete's Horsemanship Tip of the Week.
Dancin Pete's Tip of the Week, brought to you by Complementary Horsemanship. All right, today's tip of the week is the Goldilocks theory. So I came up with this because people...
You're not Goldilocks.
Yeah, I'm not Goldilocks. So the Goldilocks theory is too much, too little, just right. So when your horse does too little, everybody gets mad. Oh, he's not doing it. And I always go, no, he's just doing too little. Just ask him again. Then you want him to do too much. So now he's doing way too much. And then you find just right. So with that theory, when he's doing too little, don't get frustrated because that's going to be important for how he flexes, bends in a maneuver. And when he does too much, that's going to give you the speed or that he's willing to go to the other side. Okay? And then when you get really good, just right becomes too little or too much. And it keeps going tighter and tighter. So when Aaron would say that was just right, it would be beyond what I could ever come up with. So don't get frustrated with your horse when he does too little. That could be a good sign. And then he does too much. But if he only does just right and too little, that's not what you want. You want him to do a little bit more so that you know he's not scared to go there and you get the exact what you're wanting.
Then you get down to just the blank cow.
You just get the blank cow.
And if you want to soar...
Oh, gosh. I didn't say soar.
Just the word of the week. If you want to soar like Aaron Vale, you know, you want to be just right.
Just right.
These young ladies here are just right because they've got their sport down and they're excelling and going places. So it's exciting. So moving forward now, the next thing is, do you have another big competition coming up?
This weekend we have one in Lithia, Florida, which is close to Tampa. Yes, ma'am.
So almost every weekend.
Pretty much.
How on earth do you keep up with that in school? Do you manage to do well in school still?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You both get good grades?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. So you take care of the horses in the morning and the evening, and you go to school in the middle,
yes,
and
ma'am.
you're also training your horses during the week, and then you're showing on the weekend, and you're still getting good grades?
Yes, ma'am.
That's pretty awesome. That's a pretty,
got me beat.
That's a pretty big accomplishment right there. That's awesome stuff. Well done to both of you, and thank you so much for coming in here and sharing with us a little bit about sorting so people can learn. I think it looks like a lot of fun, and I'd like to try it. So I guess that means I need to come out and try it, right?
That's right.
Gonna have to get me out there and get me on a horse, and hopefully I remember to leave the blank cow behind. Do you have a blank cow when you're training too?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so there's a blank cow as well. So when
Yes,
you're,
ma'am.
I'm really kind of like, I'm on this blank cow thing. I didn't know there was one, so that's kind of
They're
interesting.
going to call a number and you're going to pull the blank cow right on.
Stop! Don't say. Don't say.
Oh, okay.
Don't say. So I don't know how much time we have left. How much time do we have left? Gigi, you got a timer on for us? She's not sure. Are we down? Are we out of time? Oh, I knew it. You know when
we
you
were
know.
both feeling it.
I know. I was like, I've got one more question, but I won't start it now. So thank you so much for joining us. I think we've had an amazing show with some fantastic folks.
Night of the Champions.
Oh, yeah, Night of the Champions. Maybe we need to have one of those every month. Whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world or not, happy horsing around until the same time next week.